What's up, folks? My name is Trail, better known as Budget Bill, and the previous video I did picked up a lot of attraction over the last few weeks, and we hit over 100,000 views and still counting. For all of you that watched that video, thank you. For those of you that have not watched that video, you may want to watch that video first, as it gives a complete detailed description from start to finish. And I will include a link to that video in the description as well. For those of you new to the channel, welcome and glad to have you. But today we want to go over how the split works in the modern day SuSu. But before we get started, be sure to like this video as it really helps the channel grow. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. What's up, guys, and thanks for sticking around. So before we get started, I want to release a disclaimer. I know it's something that we have to do because those hecklers out there are after us. So I am not the originator of this. I am not the creator, nor am I the owner of this modern day SuSu. I literally studied someone else's video on YouTube and figured I could do a better job of explaining it. And it was rather fun, actually. But this presentation, as well as my previous video, is strictly for informational purposes only. I am not trying to convince anyone to participate, nor am I trying to encourage anyone to join. I am simply providing the details and unique explanation for those who are interested in knowing. So stay out of my DMs. But seriously, I am merely making this video to help those who have asked how the split works multiple times in the previous video. It does get confusing, and it took me a lot of research to understand for myself, but I think I have a pretty good understanding, and I hope to do a great job of explaining it to you today. So let's get started and go over exactly how the modern day SuSu split works. So we are going to switch over to my other display for you visual folks out there to show you. Okay, guys, here's the diagram that we showed you on the previous video, but we're going to blow through this real quick just to refresh you on how it works. Okay, so you know that it takes 4 weeks for everything to happen. Week 1, you're in the fire position. Week 2, you're in the air position. Week 3, you are in the earth position. And week 4, you are in the water position. Now, where the flower splits is in between week 3 and week 4, because typically you will have 2 persons in the earth position, and in order for them to get to the water position, the flower has to split. Okay, so now we're going to switch over to this other screen that you're familiar with right here. This way I can explain it to you a little bit easier. Okay, right here we have the completed flower. This right here represents a completed flower. Each spot is more like petals on the flower. So right now we have at the top of the flower, which is Motown. Now this is specifically Motown's flower. These are the individuals that are under Motown. Okay, now on the screen there is a total of 15 people, but there are 14 people below the person in the water position. Okay, as we stated, week 1 is at the bottom in the fire position. Week 2 is the air position. Week 3 is the earth position, and week 4 is the water position. Okay, so where the actual split happens. So right now we see on the screen, we see that we have Marvin and the Temptations. They are both in the earth position, which is week number 3. Now the question that comes about, or the confusion, is from what you see on the screen, how can Marvin and the Temptations get into the water position when there is only 1 position available? Well, that is where the flower will split in half, and that is the only way that each person can be in the water position for themselves. And that is the ultimate goal, is to get in the water position, because when you get in the water position, you now have your completed flower below you, as you see on the screen right now. This is Motown's flower. Prior to Motown getting into the water position, Motown was in the earth position with someone else, but the flower split in half. Okay, so we're going to walk through this process from the beginning. All right, so let's say Your name is Michael J. down here at the bottom. So when you join on April the 12th, you're going to be in the fire position. Okay, Michael J. That's your name. Okay, follow me here. Okay, on week 2, you're going to move up into the earth position, which Michael J is going to move up, in which Michael J has to bring in 2 individuals that are going to come in the fire position. Okay, that's on week 2. On week 3, Michael J is going to move up into the earth position, and then his 2 people that he brought in are going to bring in their 2 people. Okay, and then that is where the split happens. Okay, so once Michael J is in the earth position, he's going to be in the earth position with the Isley brothers. Okay, but the flower needs to split in order for Michael J to get into the water position. Okay, so I'm going to show you what the split looks like, but we're going to look at it from the Marvin and Temptations perspective. Okay, Marvin and Temptations, they're both in the earth position, and the flower needs to split so that Marvin can be in the water position and the Temptations can be in the water position. Okay, so this right here is what happens when the flower splits. You see right there? So the flower split in half. So Marvin is now creating his own flower, and he is going to be in the water position by himself. Okay, and then the Temptations, he split off to the right side, and he's going to be in the water position by himself, so he can have his own flower as well. Okay, that is how the split works. So if we look at this right here on the left side, Marvin is now in the water position. Stevie and Smokey are now in the earth position. And then Ray, Al Green, Gladys, and Supremes are in the air position. And then they're all going to go out and get their 2 people, which are going to come in the fire position, which you notice that's going to be 2 for Ray, 2 for Al Green, 2 for Gladys, and 2 for the Supremes. That's going to be a total of 8 individuals in the fire position. Okay, now I'm going to flip over to show you what it looks like when Michael got into the water position. So see right here, Michael has gotten into the water position by himself. Okay, this is now Michael's flower, and these are the 14 individuals underneath Michael. Okay, I hope that makes sense, but I'll just go over it real quick. In order for Bobby and Janet J on the screen right now to get into the water position by themselves, the flower has to split. Okay, now this right here is what the split looks like. See, now the flower split. Janet Jackson went to the right side and Bobby went to the left side. So now Bobby is creating his own flower, in which he's going to be in the water position. And then Ralph and Johnny are going to move up to the earth position. And then Ricky, Michael, Ronnie, and BBD are going to move into the air position, and so on. Okay, now I went ahead and designed those screens as well to show you what it looks like. So you see, now this is what Bobby's flower looks like. The flower split in between Bobby and Janet. So now Bobby has his own flower, in which Ralph and Johnny are underneath Bobby. And then Janet right here has her own flower. So that's how the flower splits. And it does that every week for the 2 people that are in the earth position. So the split happens between the people in the earth position. So if you look at this flower, the flower is going to split in between Joe and Randy. Randy's going to break off to the right and create his own flower, and Joe is going to split off to the left to create his own flower. And that continues to happen every week for the 2 people that are in the earth position. And just real quick to show you how it looks from using this particular illustration, which I don't like this illustration because it was kind of confusing to me at first, but I'm going to show you what the split looks like right here as well. So see right there, I drew a line in the middle. So these individuals over here, the earth, the 2 airs, and the 4 fires are going to break off. And they're going to create their own flower down here on this side. And then the flower up here at the top is going to split off and create their own flower. So the person in the earth position will move into the water position. And then those 2 airs will move into the earth position. And then those fires would move into the air position. And then they would go out and bring in 4 or 8 more fires total. So that's how the flower splits using this particular illustration. I hope that helps you guys. Okay guys, that is the best I can explain of how the modern day SuSu split works. I hope that helped the people who were interested. Now, do me a favor. Y'all go ahead and turn up this video like y'all did on the previous video. That video got over 100,000 views and over 5,000 likes. Can y'all do that for me? Great, awesome, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like, as it definitely helps out the growth of this channel. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? This is a great time to click on the subscribe button down below as well as the bell next to it so you can be notified every time I upload new videos. Other than that, hey, I appreciate you guys watching and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.